What's good? It has been a while. I missed you too. But my last video was trash. You couldn't even hear me. But on the plus side, I've learnt to watch a video before posting it on the internet. Anyways, from the pictures you can tell, exams had me busy, been eating crap. But this is all about change, you know? Trying to get a trim out here because you can see that too. But anyways, first working set of dumbbell press. Keeping it heavy because we're not just trying to cut. We want to maintain that strength that we've built. You're going to see my right arm start to lag, but don't worry, that's only because I got injured back in February and the strength hasn't been the same in my right arm. And the way to fix that is by going single arm, so one at a time. So here I'm going one and then together, because that just makes it even. I feel like it does it good. This is actually a drop set. So on the last set you just burn out with a lower weight incline bench press. Went quite heavy here, just kind of testing my strength, 1 rep max kind of thing. Overshot it a bit, but you don't lose anything. Next set, I've dropped the weight and then kind of trying to go for about 5 and just controlled. You want to keep the bar as close to your chin as possible, like it should be almost touching it. I think on 1 rep I actually did hit myself on the chin. But anyways, just keep your elbows tucked in, your core nice and tight, and just when you're setting up, make sure it's all like stable, have your legs planted, and yeah, it should just feel balanced. This is a drop set, so I took off the 20s and slapped the 10s on. Just going for as many controlled reps, and you'll see next that the frame cuts again because I just rep it out and then go for like these little half reps, just completely exhausting the upper chest. Onto decline bench. This is just targeting your lower portion. It's almost like exhausting it as well. You use your triceps. Not much to say really, then keep your elbows tucked in and just feel the squeeze at the top, fully extend for that range of motion, and if you can, do some pause reps because that's going to work your chest more than your triceps. Onto the pec deck machine. Tips here are just keep your elbows quite low because that way you feel it less in your shoulders, and if I was to give myself some advice, I'd say pause at the middle, just feel that burn, and if you stay wide, that gets you that width in your chest, so like it's like you're hugging a barrel. And now just supersetting with some chin-ups. Next is the Arnold press. It's like a variation of the shoulder press. Just when you're pushing up, when you come back down, you just literally rotate your elbows forward and you just feel your whole delt and like your traps working. You could just do like a normal military press, but it's just up to you. Next, just superset with some shrugs. If I was to give myself advice here, I'd say pause at the top and go down slower. And they're kind of rolling. It just helps you get that whole squeeze in the whole trap. It's really preference. You could just stick to up and down. Now we have the pause flies. I didn't do too good a job with the pausing, so let's call them flies. But the main point is one arm stays up and the other one comes down, and vice versa. It's like a pendulum the way it swings up and down each arm. Just stick to going light, and then when you've done as many as you can, just stay holding those dumbbells and burn out with those normal flies. And depending on how far back you put your elbows, it kind of works your traps and your delts at a different angle, so it's really up to you what you want to work that day, what you're feeling, what you're liking. And I just decided to do some in and outs for supersets because supersets make you sweat and you gotta get your abs in. So my favorite chest exercises, call them spider flies. Do them at the end, and just the key is just to go really slow and controlled and just feel the squeeze because it will have your chest shaking with like using 2s. I'm not even joking. Just don't let your elbows fall below a certain point so the tension stays on the chest, and at the top and the bottom just turn your wrists inwards like a V and you'll feel that squeeze. And I don't know what the hell this guy was clapping for. It must have been some real good music. But spider flies. Finishing off with some push-ups. Just go to absolute failure. You can tell this was me at the end, getting those half reps in. But feel the burn. Day 2 is back. So started off with some weighted pull-ups. Just go into failure, and on the last set, drop the weight and try to do some pause reps, like pause at the top. A lot of people say they can't do pull-ups, but the truth is you just have to start trying to do them, because if you don't start, then you're never going to get there. To try and force a rep, you can jump up at the top of the bar. So literally jump and hold yourself at the top and go as slowly down as possible. And that's going to work on the negative part of the movement. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be trying to pull yourself up anyways. on back day, or if you really want to, every day. Just spend 5 minutes trying to pull yourself up as many times as possible, and I guarantee you, give it a month and you will get one. Next up are lat pull downs. Imagine there's strings tied to each elbow and then someone's pulling them down. So essentially you just pull down with your elbows, feel the squeeze at the bottom. I should have gone a bit lighter to make that squeeze a bit better, but the next clip you'll see is a superset of behind the neck lat pull downs. You just have to retract your shoulder blades and you'll feel the squeeze in your traps, and especially because it's such a big stretch, you'll even feel it in your lower lats, which is quite good. And especially the fact that it's superset, it's like your back's really getting torn apart. Next we got wide rows, just keeping your elbows tucked in as much as possible. These are quite heavy, you can see from my facial expressions, but yeah, drop the weight onto the next set. This is neutral grip, so it's a bit easier, rep it out a bit more, and yeah, same again, elbows tucked in. And on the last clip you'll see underhand grip. It's a bit more bicep focused, but you can manipulate it to make it more trap focused as well, because you just have to retract your shoulders again and really feel the squeeze like you're pulling with your traps. Next are superstars. They probably have a real name, but just keep your arms high and extend downwards like you're trying to bring something downwards, you know. And yeah, just feel the squeeze at the bottom of the rep. And finally, ski pulls. They're probably one of my favorites. Just keep your elbows tucked in, really reach out and come in and squeeze real hard, and you'll feel it at the bottom. Slow and steady is the way for these exercises. Right now it's Ramadan, so it's quite hard to stick to it, but you know, trying helps. Fish, favorite protein source because it's so lean. Yogurt, can eat it with anything, you know, breakfast, snack. Eggs, if you want to minus some fat, just get rid of the yolks. And other than that, vegetables, you can throw in a little bit of butter just with some seasoning to help it, because it does change the game a bit. And yeah, just get your water in. Here I'm just doing some cardio, about 10 minutes. The jump rope is it's enough after a good workout. You'll see me get more serious into the cardio the more we progress, but yeah, stay tuned.